Item to report, the time is 7:54 p.m., May 6th. Item to report, when the male ISIS left the terrorist cell. I can't report on public domain here what I witnessed him do, but I am to put onto the public platform here. I did witness after he had left. I went out to the house, and the entire house at that point was engulfed in chemical stench. We know what they are. The whole world knows what they are. I made sure the whole world knows what chemical stench is. It was not there before he had arrived. I can say this, in my bathroom when he arrived. He did not know I was in my bathroom. I had a green light, go out to your bathroom. While I was in there, within 1 minute, he walked in the front door. There was nobody here. I had been working on a project in my bathroom, cleaning it up, so on and so forth. I had wrapped that up about 10 minutes before he showed up, and I went out there 1 minute before he showed up because I had the green light to go back into the bathroom. He didn't know I was in the bathroom. And so I witnessed the whole thing, and I knew what was going on in the house. It was crystal clean, free from chemical stenches. By the time he was done with his work project, construction job, the whole place was lit with manufactured chemical stenches. I'm not allowed to say anything or witness him do other than that. Witnessing is witnessing. I was here the whole time he was here. Can't talk about it on the public platform. I am not allowed to say anything else in here, except I can say this. I did my fourth step, and I did another meeting tonight. I'm doing meetings every day. I praise God for the Zoom and the telephone AA, because I never thought I'd be in a situation where I couldn't physically get to one. I praise God, my higher power, that I can. Because of the people at the AA, they think of all these things. And I can get to a meeting every day, and I have been. And my craving, that how I was talking about how out of nowhere after 11 or 12 years, I forgot. I have to check because I've been pretty upset in here. I mean, there have been, dead bodies in here and manufactured chemical stenches. And I got wrapped up in that, man. And yeah, I am an alcoholic through all of that. And it's okay with God that I can talk about this, although I just did a report, because this is the only video I can probably make today, and I want to get it all out. But I can get to these meetings, and I could not do this. No. If anybody reviews what I've been documenting and going through, and what I'm aware of what I've been going through in here and that I can't talk about, there's no fucking way I could have gone to a meeting, not even a phone meeting. Everybody died in here. And then that is when God said, you get your ass back to AA, because it had to take some drastic action for me to be able to even practice my sobriety. But in that time, I did, as an alcoholic, I would think, oh, I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I started to a little bit, subconsciously, I did. Although I would talk about, if someone were to discuss it with me, I'm saying I would talk about being in recovery, but in myself, sitting here with myself, I started to forget it. And then all of a sudden, it became very unforgettable. That the craving, I'm like, what the frick? I had cravings. I haven't had cravings in 11 or 12 years, not since I first was a newly sober woman. And I'm not a newbie. I'm not a newcomer. I praise God for that. I don't want to go back out. Going back out is a very scary, scary thought to me. I'm really glad I didn't relapse. But I have to work at this, and I know that. And it took everybody dying in here and it to calm down just a little bit for me to be able to go to a meeting. I wanted to go to one at 6. It got too crazy, but I can't talk about anything that happens in here. So I hit the 7 o'clock, and I want to praise AA for this. I'm not trying to promote AA. It's a program of attraction, not promotion. But I got to talk about what I'm going through, and I can't talk at the meetings. It's against my higher power for me to talk at the meetings. And also, you never know when something's going to go down in here. and I know that. I can't do it. I'm so pissed at this terrorist cell and the United States government that's 6 blocks down the street. Those fucking government people called Joe Biden White House. I could walk to the White House from there because they're harboring, protecting, and aiding and abetting freaking Muslim terrorists here. Nobody wonders it, dude. Nobody's wondering that. Because of these illegal actions being taken by the US government, people holding office, they're making it so I have to skip meetings, wait till it's calm to get a meeting at 7. I can't talk about anything. I have to mix my report with my sobriety journey, blah, 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 blah. But I do want to just repeat that the house was engulfed with manufactured chemical stenches. We know what those are. Within a handful of minutes after that ISIS terrorist vacated the premises, the house was engulfed with chemical stenches. Okay, good. Because that's the point of this YouTube video. I'm cramming everything into 14 minutes. So I did my 4th step, and I don't mind doing it again. And I believe that I might do it more than once. I have to do all 12 steps, but I mean, I believe I'm going to do more than once the 12 steps. I don't see why not. So I'm going to get a sponsor at some point. I'm going to do the 12 steps. And I don't see why I don't do them again at some point. Maybe a couple times, 3 times, who cares? But my higher power, I know I'm jumping everywhere. My higher power said, no talking, Mamacita. You're going to listen like 6 months. Even if you go to a meeting, you're just going to listen. And by the time I'm physically at the meetings, I get out of here and I'm eating coffee. I'm drinking cookies. Oh, I said it backwards. I'm eating cookies. I'm drinking coffee. I'm physically at the meeting with a whole bunch of alcoholics. We're all in there together. My guidance is no talking, Mamacita. You're going to listen this time. You do have 11 and 12 years, but you need to listen for a while. It's like 6 months. You can talk maybe once in a while. It's not like it's going to be the end of the world. But I'm supposed to just take a sabbatical from talking. I can do this on the YouTube. I can talk to my friends, so on and so forth. You can talk to your sponsors. But when you go to the meetings for 6 months, because how close I came to relapse and how horrible this last 5 years was, I've smelled everything in the world here, okay? I've witnessed so much fucking violence. Like I said just yesterday when I was washing my dishes. Like, it's incredible advice from my meditation, from my higher power, to just not talk in meetings. And this is a good practice for me, to just listen to the whole hour, listen and be there. And then very soon, by the way, very soon, when I'm out of DC and I'm walking into a meeting physically, eating cookies, drinking coffee at the meeting, I'm not going to be talking. I'm listening. I'm going to listen to my sponsor. I'm going to just really, really, because I do have 11 and 12 years. I forget. I'll remember soon how much time. And that's amazing. And I did do my 4th step. But that's where I stopped. I stopped at my 4th step. I've heard people do that. They stop. And they don't always go back out, but it's just the steps are just too much. And they were. And then I'm one of those people that thought AA took up too much of my time. And so when I got all caught up with this special ops, helping the military, I graduated criminal justice degree. Here I am, I'm off to the races. Donald Trump and the Biden White House prevented me from going to graduate school. They prevented me. See, now here comes special ops with the helicopters. So, I mean, this is what I mean. It might not come up just this second over the AC, but they're here. So it's minute 9. I have to go pretty soon. But these assholes thinking they're going to run for office, who are going to be arrested for terrorism, dude, there's no doubt whatsoever. This is so fucking disturbing, and whatever the word, that we have 2 men this involved with terrorism and our country's in this much of a mess. I have to stay sober through this. I have to just listen at the meetings. Yes, I'm going to do my 4th step and 5th step. And I forgot my point because of the helicopters already flying around. They have been already, but I can't talk about anything that's happening here. All I can talk about is the dude lit the house up with chemical stenches, okay? That's all I can say. And that I did my 4-step, but I stopped there. And then I ran off with the special ops. And then things were fine until I came to Chicago. I came back from the United Kingdom. I went to Europe. I came back from the United Kingdom, and then Trump was in office, and they went after me, and I couldn't get jobs. These lawyers jerked me out of my apartment that was paid, 6 months paid. I still want to get an attorney to fire back with that because it was so illegal. The Blue Group out of Chicago, oh, they deserve it. It's fully so illegal. And then my family went after me, and it's just been the same story ever since then. So that was about 6 years. And then for the last 4 years, almost 5 this September, I was so destitute. I moved in here, and that was almost 5 years ago. But the long story short is, they moved me into a terrorist cell on purpose to knock me off. It's so obvious, and all the special ops, and they know that. And it was because I was working criminal justice with special ops. They thought they'd go after the weakest one, because I don't shoot machine guns, and I'm not this big tough commando, and I was destitute, and everyone was denying me employment. Oh yeah, it was a campaign. And look who's done this legally now. Look what kind of idiot does it legally. This guy in Florida, the governor, has now made it a law to deny anyone who's Chinese or Russian any employment. Go Google it if you didn't read the headline. So I said that did that to me, dude. I couldn't get a work as a dish. I couldn't get any jobs. I looked for jobs for 3 fucking years nonstop. Oh, I knew they were doing something. It was no doubt they were doing something. And I did it here. I still tried to get a job. I was like, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get out of here. And then they started killing people in here. And the place was just reeking with corpses. And at that point, you couldn't work. You can't do anything. You just better barricade yourself in here and wait for this place to be searched and wait for this place to be raided. And all these two have done, Donald Trump and Biden, is keep that from happening. Okay? Like I said yesterday, I'm in here washing dishes, and there's this gigantic fight over my head. There's individuals in this house who were not here. There's nobody there. All of a sudden they're here. There's nobody here. Like, I know when they come in. These fucking losers that light the place up with chemical stenches, you know when they come in. I'm talking, there's cubby holes here, and they're crawling in and out of them. They carved holes in the walls to 1507. They carved holes in the wall to the house next door, 511. It's terrible. And they're crawling in and out of the cubby holes. There's all this crime, homicide, chemical stenches. And what do Biden and what do Donald Trump, who are both running for office, do? They keep this place from being searched and raided to this very night. Okay? And it's interrupting my meetings. I'm trying to go to one at 6. Can't do it. Got to wait till 7. And then by 7, what is it? It's like, I already said the time. There's helicopters and stuff. It never ends. I'm completely exhausted. I'm having, I wanted to read my Catholic prayers. Couldn't do that because they're pounding and filling the house up with chemical stenches. That was earlier today, but I did document how they're making my life living hell. Now, I've got 30 seconds left, so I'm going to say that I did my 4th step, and I'm so glad to be back in the program. I was in the program, but I ran off with the special ops, but I don't regret it. But before I lose everything and relapse, I'm so glad I still have my sobriety. I do. That didn't go anywhere. And I'm going to sign off. Goodbye.